Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you join me tonight. Share the link to the classroom. Okay, the link has been shared to the class. So while we wait, we'll navigate through to our last topic. Still the same course we've been taking for over 1 week now. Introduction to psychology. It's the course. The course code is CSS 121, and we've been talking about what psychology is, various definition of psychology by different scholars, and we've spoken about how psychology can be used in policing. uh, we've spoken about how psychology can be used in policing, and we've spoken about intelligence concerns. We've also spoken about how behavior is being influenced by genetics and by the environment. All this we've spoken about. A lot of things we have unfolded. So now for tonight's class, we've spoken about determinants of editorial subjects. Yeah, I've spoken about that, and we have also spoken about how you can apply psychology to policing. Awesome. Someone is also ready. I presume that is Mr. Jolas. Mr. Jolas, is that you? Okay. We have that start, and we've also spoken about person perception and impression formation. Spoken about how bias it can be sometimes when creating information, when formulating impression. So tonight, dominion. How do? Okay. I think this is the first time you are with us tonight. I'm not sure I've seen that name before. Mr. Dominion, it's great to have you join us tonight. So we've spoken about behavioral to traits. We've spoken about what traits are, and we've also spoken about what behaviors are. Okay, Mr. Jolas is with us now. Mr. Jolas, it's great to have you. You are welcome. It's great to have you join us tonight, Mr. Jolas. So it's midnight already, and I wouldn't want to keep us. Because myself, I have a lot of work to do. I'm not sure I'm even skipping after this class. I have to definitely attend to some tests, tutor mark tests that I'm handling, and the first set of TMA is closing on the 10th. But as it is now, some of the courses have not even been uploaded. Courses like GST 107, GST 107 have not been uploaded, and Echo 121. Those two courses have not been, as of today. I checked. So now today's class, let's just go straight into it. I wouldn't want to keep us for long. Today's class we'll be talking about accuracy of judgment. Now, in the previous unit, we've learned about attributing causes to other behavior, and we've also spoken about how behaviors are being formulated based on traits and personal observations. So now today is going to be accuracy of judgments. Now, the main content says accuracy person perception. Accurate person perception. What's the meaning of the combination of these three words? Accurate person and perception. Can a perception be accurate? Get to find out as we go into the study. Now, how accurately do people perceive others? As we will see, this is a thorny question. Very well. On the other hand, people must in be reasonably accurate in their judgment of others for society to function as smooth as it can. Definitely, people must be accurate in their reasonable. They must be reasonable when it comes to making judgment of others. They have to be accurate and reasonable so that the bias does not supersede the real thing. So it is important for you to note that people perceive external visible attributes fairly accurately. Definitely, your actions means a lot. Inactions might not speak much, but what you do are physical things whereby people can, based on what they have seen you do, people can make judgments, people can pass judgments on you. So your actions now are physical, they are external, visible attributes that people can fairly make judgments of. Now, a man in blue uniform with a gun strapped to his side is a police officer. We must treat him accordingly. Look definitely could tell that, okay, for him to be using the gun and he's strapped, for him to be using the gun and it's in the blue and black, blue and white uniform, then it has to be a police officer. So now we have cues used to make judgments. Let's not forget, we said something about cues the other time in our previous class, which we said cues are actually more of your appearance, what you are in person, your physical appearance. So now we have cues used in making judgment. Now the eye of the beholder, that's one of the cue which we use in making judgments. One of the most surprising aspects of person perception is that the fact that different people observe the same individual can come to quite different conclusion about that person's personality. Definitely. Now this is just one thing about, for the fact that I see something as blue does not mean the other person might see it as blue. Even though the two of us can see it, but our review, our contribution, our suggestion will be definitely different. So now the eye of the beholder speaks more about that. An interestingly study with children illustrates this point. A study was carried out by Richardson in 1965, cited in Taylor's 2000. Now he said each child was asked to describe all other children in the camp. Now the experimenters then looked at the characteristics each child used in making descriptions of other children and characteristics used to describe each child. Now they could then examine wherever the same child was described the same way by most people, or whether the same perceiver used the same characteristics to describe all other children. Definitely, they are judging based on what they can see other children do. Now, it is important for you to note that overall, the researcher found little agreement about which dimension describes any given child. Now, rather, each rater tended to use same characteristics no matter which child he or she was describing. Older children and adults share more consistent perceptions of attributes and behavior than true for young children. Now, sometimes what we notice in other person is influenced more by our ways of looking at people than by that person's actual characteristics. Very true. It all depends on how we see people, not necessarily their character. But nevertheless, it is what people do and you can see, that is what helps you formulate impression about them. Now, judging personality, now there is no research on how accurate people are in judging others. Definitely no research that prove how accurate people can be in judging others. Now, personality traits such as dominance or sociability, accuracy is found to be comprised by several factors. First, people's perception of others are sometimes determined by their playful preference for particular personality dimension than by objective attributes of the person being evaluated. Now, the first thing that enhances judgments, judging a personality. Now, the first thing is, if I am to judge somebody, I would rather judge him based on what I like about him, not what the facts are. If the facts are this person is a liar, but because of I like this guy because he's a funny guy, he's a comedian, I rather choose to judge him based on what my preferences are about him and forget about the dislike. Now, second, it is difficult to measure personality traits, and so it is difficult to establish the proper criteria for accuracy. Personality traits is definitely difficult to establish because definitely you can't know all what a human is capable of. You definitely can't know all what human is capable of. So now it's very difficult to be accurate when measuring personality traits. Now, the third factor has to do with how consistent people's personality traits are, especially in predicting their behavior. Consistency in personality traits determines how you can evaluate such behavior. So we have that as that. So we have remember what we attempt to predict future behavior, we fare rather badly. That is for the most part we are confident about predicting the behavior of both other people and ourselves. Now inaccuracy seems to be due to two factors. Inaccuracy seems to be due to two factors. Now, the first factor is when people express high confidence that certain things will happen to themselves or others in the future, it is rarely warranted. Overconfidence. Inaccuracy has two factors. One, overconfidence. As overconfidence increases, the gap between accuracy and confidence widens. Now, recognition of emotion. Most of the work on accuracy of person perception has focused on recognition of emotions, on whether the person is happy, afraid, horrible, or disgusted. In a typical study, a person is presented with a set of photographs of people portraying different emotions and asked to judge what those emotions are. More recent research has been made used to videotape chips of emotional reactions. Now, emotion has a lot to do when it comes to judgment. It has a lot to do when it comes to judgment. Now we have that as that. Now we have a number of empirical investigations have supported these points. Craig and Patrick, 1985, induced pain by immensely participant hands and wrists into icy water just to freeze the temperature. They found consistent response across cultures in response to this, including raising the cheeks and tightening the eyelid, raising upper eyelids, parting the lids, and using the eye to blinking. Now it is said here by two persons, Craig and Patrick, in 1985, that a number of numeric okay now Craig and Patrick did a number of empiric, anything empiric now is research, getting value from the research, so it has to be empiric. Investigations have supported this point. Now we have the illustration they gave is that they dip people's hand into cold water. So whether you are black, whether you are white, whether you are yellow, they noticed that everybody acted the same way. The reaction was the same. Now it is to be noted that while not all individual emotions can be discriminated well, people can typically distinguish the major group of emotions using facial cues. In an early study, Woodworth, 1938, Now, it suggested that emotions can be arranged on a continuum. Now, the continuum of emotion is we have happiness, we have surprise. I think I have seen this question in one of the TNs. Yeah, happiness, surprise, fear, sadness, excuse me, disgust, contempt, interest, anger. Now, two basic dimensions of the emotional expression are pleasant and arousal, and people are reasonable judges of emotional state within the categories that this dimension forms. Now, two major dimensions of emotional expression are pleasantness and arousal. So we have that as that. So we move to module 4. We have problem of perception. So we have channels of non-verbal communication. I would actually recommend we stop here for tonight. So we can start from module 4 tomorrow, and we know that tomorrow we'll see all this through and finish it up. Because most time exams question comes out from towards the ending of the material. So I wouldn't want us to rush through this. I want us to take our time and go through this together tomorrow in the class. So thank you very much, guys. So for tonight's class we stop at, beg your pardon. Okay, we stopped at recognition of emotions. So we know that we have what Craig and Patrick did, and emotional arrangement. Now we talked about emotions can be arranged in a continuum of emotion, which you have happiness, joy, surprise, amazement, fear, sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, interest, attractiveness. So we have that as that for tonight's class. Thank you very much, guys. I look forward to see you in subsequent tutorial, and I hope we are exam is closing down on us gradually. Just keep studying and putting in the hard work. It will pay off definitely. Thank you very much, guys. Do have a blissful night. Bye.